Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to TSCC. All right, this month we're going to focus on family sharing. OK， 我们在这里欢迎大家再次回到这个大成直播。我吴阳庆将会是这个月的主持，我们将会跟你们分享来两个家庭。来，今天我们有 Evan 来在我们当中。OK， 我们可以叫他介绍一下自己。
大家好，今天其实思敏应该陪我来的啦，只是他工作太忙，所以今天只有我。我叫 Edmund， 我也叫清源。如果大家还不熟悉，不认识我的话，在这里做一个正式的自我介绍。就先讲我工作，思敏的工作跟我的工作。
是。
我是在做一个，就是经营一个买卖车的，是一个很小本经营的生意，做了10年，之前就是一路来都是在做sales， 做行销，做销售，然后思敏是在 SMU 做就是比较 admin 的工作，然后我们有2个孩子，一个9岁。一个3岁，大的叫雷登，小的叫 No One。
哎，我们很高兴啊，因为Edmund 通常都不是太曝光的人，很难请到他。OK， 大家都有这样的福气哈。我们今天要从一个很平凡的家庭当中里面，能够来跟我们分享他们的不平凡的一个的经历在当中来，我们先从他们的家庭的价值观，或者是一些原则性当中里面，能够来开始来访问你啊。OK， like what is your family values and your principle？
I think primarily this is what Seng wants me to talk about also. We focus very much on communication, bonding, and quality time with our children, and to the best of our abilities also between Seng and I also. So this is what we believe. This is what we believe. The core beliefs that what a healthy family should have. And there's also something that we learned just a few years ago in recent times about, when you talk about values, right? We believe in saying the right things, positive things.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, things that kind words basically. So if I may pick out a verse from Proverbs, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. I think we, being a typical Asian family, we might have some baggages from the past generations, like the way we were being brought up. We tend to have this tendency to bring up our children the same way too. So I'll pick an example like my mother, who's staying with us, will tend to say things like, 一隻大哦，真衰款，特別調工做幾件真亂。So you always hear things like, there's a sense of exaggeration, there's a sense of, accusation, things that probably didn't happen, but there's a label on that particular person already.
Correct.
So this, and to be honest, we are guilty of that too. But that's why I say in recent years we found out. We came to the realization, and we make a deliberate effort to make sure we don't follow that way, because as we go along in this sharing, you find out why this is particularly important to us.
Yeah, sure. So sometimes, sometimes subconsciously, with the Asians brought up, especially some of the senior, all right, they tend to think that is called normal. Talking, all right, in a way, okay, but somehow it had built certain kind of shadowing, all right, some kind of thinking pattern, okay, that may be built out, okay, from youngs on that kind of thing on that. All right. Okay, so basically, I believe, okay, every single family is, okay, will have to go through, all right, perhaps certain kind of role in terms of husband and wife, all right, or some family actually, they go by free flow, right? Some of the families actually go very organized way of kind of arrangement on that, right? Right. So what exactly, okay, that your family in terms of husband and wife role in the families?
Unfortunately, Seng and I are quite similar when it comes to this. Not that we don't believe in very methodical, very orderly way of raising children, but we believe in adapting to who they are. Because when we had Nathan, right, this is what we came to realize. Whatever we read up beforehand, or Seng mostly, very little is applicable. So it's like you have to deal with the situation in front of you rather than applying what you have learned before. So when we had Nathan, we realized we had to be adaptable. Flexible seems like a very loose word to say that, hey, you just don't care. But I think I like to think that we are adaptable parents. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, what today we are focused at, okay, is actually, all right, very much in the normal families, okay. But Edmund and Seng, they do have an experience, okay, that perhaps, all right, increasingly is, okay, getting more and more, okay, in Singapore, right. When Edmund, they all had the first kid, okay, and we know, okay, that Nathan has actually played in the church, okay, all right. So he's a little bit, okay, hyperactive or not hyperactive, okay, right. When this whole thing, we begin to realize, okay, that actually Nathan do have light Asperger syndrome, all right. It kind of like autism kind of things on that, all right. So I still can remember, all right, back those days, okay, where 20 years ago, okay, my levels of friends, okay, when they do have autism kids, they has to go all the way, okay, to migrate to Australia. But just Singapore by itself is not really in that kind of climax of it, that kind of situations. So today, all right, we got an opportunity, okay, to learn from Edmund families, okay, how do they exactly, all right, going through, okay, in terms of raising, all right, Nathan, right, in their families on that, okay. So perhaps you can share with us, all right, some of your experience on that.
Okay, just briefly, I think not all our church members are aware of this. Nathan he has a slight syndrome, like what you said.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's called Asperger syndrome. So some of these symptoms include exaggerated emotions. They like repetitive things, just to name a few. So we found out quite early, but I think the turning point came in when Hazel, brought it to our attention. We knew we had to do something pretty quickly, So we sent him to an intervention center. He improved a lot. He stayed there for about 1.5 years. So what they teach him there is like very simple things, like buttoning his clothes, packing his things, and then recognizing things, and basically to break off the usual things that he liked to do while having that, while in the spectrum. So all these were done to help him function a little bit more. Function a little bit better in a social setting, for example. So if you notice, sometimes Nathan has problems dealing with people. So this is one of the things that, one of the challenges that we have to go through.
Yeah, before actually you get into more sharing on the developments on that, okay, perhaps you can share a little bit, okay, when you begin to discover, All right, at that moment of time, okay, how exactly you and Seng actually responding to this news?
Yeah, the red flag came when we noticed he was flapping his hands. I think we have a video to show him when he was like 19 months. He
Okay.
was flapping his arms, and when he gets excited, see the way he flaps his arms.
Is that volume on? Okay, right, good. I probably can take a few seconds to experience a bit of Nathan's.
Yeah, it's a pretty long video, but just to get the gist of what we have just said.
Very cute.
He was reading alphabets. Yeah. So
Actually, if we did not really knowing the syndrome of it, okay, we probably would be thinking that this is a hyperactive, child, that get very excited again.
yeah, he gets excited, but not in a hyperactive sense. In fact, he's a little bit inactive.
Inactive.
But the way he shows his excitement, you will, yeah. So from this video, we found out that his coping mechanism is to flap his hands and all that, which is why now at Epic Center, the intervention center, that's what it's being called, they taught him to replace his flapping with another hand action. So if you look at Nathan now, when he is trying to express himself, he actually has this gesture. It's less obvious these days, but you can see it's a replacement of the hand flapping action. So I think he has gotten a lot better, to be honest. But he still needs a bit of help in many areas. Yeah. What we found out also, besides this as a red flag, we found him, he gets pretty good at certain things pretty fast. So at the time, as a first-time parent, we would think, wow, you marvel, wow, my child is so smart and all that. But actually, it's a sign of something going on. Yeah. So while taking joy and pleasure in seeing him growing up like that, we have to dampen ourselves also, in the sense, because we know these are just signs, a symptom of another thing going on.
So basically, you all found out this syndrome is actually during 19 months, or probably there. So
around there.
Around there.
When Hazel also brought it to our attention.
I see. So Nathan today is P3.
Yeah.
Yeah, P3, that is 10 years old. All right. So from 2 years old to 10 years old, I believe, the development stages of Nathan will be very much different from a normal child. Right? How do you exactly respond or transit or probably facilitate, from various phases, when Nathan is growing up?
I have to go back a little bit to one of the first few questions about the values. It fell into places like, if you think about it again, communication, bonding, quality time. That's exactly what the intervention center told us, to make eye contact. We have to make very deliberate efforts to be aware of what's going on. So communication, we talk to him a lot. We have to repeat ourselves many things to assure him that this is the way things work, this is how it is, and basically to assure him, and he gets very anxious about things very easily. And we have to learn how to play with him, probably his way. So I consider that, it's like a bonding session, it's spending quality time with him. It's not what you do with a regular kid, because if you think about it in the mathematical sense, Noah is 3 this year, and Nathan is 9. So basically we have a good 6 years having Nathan and parenting him this way. by the time Noah comes in, it feels like we have to reset whatever we have learned. Yeah. So, because for the typical Singaporean family, they will just have to, take off, like for example, you have the first kid, you parent him or her this way, and then the second one comes 2 years later, it's probably about the same method.
Correct.
But not for our case. We have to do a reset. Because Noah, on the other hand, is a very typical boy. Like, he's smart in his own ways, but he's not like Nathan.
Sure. All right. So I believe that you all have gone through the tough time, in developing. All right, be patient and repeat and give assurance on it in that manner. All right, knowing that Nathan actually go to to school during the nursery stage. Right, one is you call interventions center. All right, and he at the same time also go for nursery classes as well. Correct? Is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, when you begin to come to a formal class, right, in terms of going to primary 1, right, what make your decisions, for you to actually bring Nathan into a normal school?
Simi and I talked through this subject matter, like whether to put him in a mainstream school or a special school. We spent many hours, nights talking about it. The therapist did suggest sending him to a special school. A school like Northlight, I think. Yeah, it's at Ang Mo Kio. But eventually we decided to give it a shot, to put him in a regular mainstream school. Basically, mainly because we saw his improvement when he got older. And we felt that if he doesn't make it there, we can always have the option of putting him back in a special school. It has always been our primary concern, whether he's getting, whether he's doing well in school. Because the first question we ask his form teachers from primary 1 to 3, it's not how good his grades are. Like, the first one I asked, I still remember vividly, is he making friends? Is he getting on well with his classmates? Like, basically, we just want to make sure that he's in a good place, socially speaking.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. So what today's we are going through, perhaps is introduce MN families, that Nathan's developments of it. So what we're going to continue next week, will be together with Seng. All right. We want to get into, all right, their families. How are they going to adopt, their methods, right, in terms of helping the children, to grow in a situation like this, in terms of social contacts, in terms of understanding, in terms of values, So it's a lot more different, than a normal child, right, in terms of learning progress. Certain part of it, they are super intelligent, right? But certain parts of it, they are probably inactive, as what you mentioned, right? So as a parent, you got to go through, right, the roller coasters are up and down with the kids, kind of thing on that, right? At the same time, we will share also, all right, the second kid's coming in after 6 years' time, where Noah is actually, all right, functioning as a normal kid on it. How does the family being a juggle between, all right, kids who need a lot more attentions and another kids who actually learning probably a lot more faster on it. All right, how does this going to be adjusting on that? So I guess, all right, there'll be more to come, in terms of Edmund and Seng, in terms of sharing how are they going to adopt it. I'm sure, all right, a lot of us today, we probably will be facing one way or another to some of our friends, or perhaps some of you, would have kids, that's similar like this, that you probably can learn from it. All right, so thank you very much on that, for spending the time with us today. All right, we hope that the next week, the same time, 1:30 on it. All right, we will have Edmund and Seng, to share with us, right, on the adaptations and the methods of it. All right, thank you very much, Edmund. All right, bye.